Programming the P1, P2, so forth buttons is pretty cool. To use these buttons, you'll hold the M key down and turn the power on. 1.3 will show. Hit the negative button till the letter P comes up. And you can follow this on page 24 of the instruction book. We're going to actually program one of these buttons. So we can now, we're in the P mode like we said. We can now select which one of these buttons we want to select. So let's just go to the P1 button. That means we're going to put a program on P1. So we selected P1. Now what we're going to do is give it some parameters. We're going to say P1 button is going to have program number 1. Now we can put any program we want on there. We'll just take 1. But we want this program to have some special parameters. We want it to be, instead of the standard 100, we're going to make it a little longer. So we'll go about 10% bigger. 110. We'll leave the y-axis the same. We'll change the speed. We'll slow this thing down to about 1200. And then we'll turn the tension up to about 55. That looks good. So now what we're going to do now is hit this horseshoe button again. P1 is now saved with that information. If we would like to program a second button, we'll go to the P2 button. We'll select the pattern. This time we'll take pattern number 3. And we'll change some parameters on it. We'll make this one smaller in both directions. And we will speed to 3,000. Let's turn it down. Let's turn it down to 2,500. Let's turn the tension up to about 50. And let's save it. So now we have 2 programs on here, P1 and P2. We modified an existing program and saved it to P1 and P2. I'll turn the power off a moment. Turn it back on. This time we're going to select P1. P1 now exists of that program 1 which we modified with the settings. So we could go ahead and show that. And now if we wanted to go to P2, all we have to do is hit P2. We don't have to go through all that rigmarole. And P2 is saved. Remember we took program 3, made some changes, and we can show P2. Go back and show P1. And so forth. Now we could do this with all the P buttons. And there's more than 5. You can get 6, 7, 8 by holding a combination of buttons in. But that is a really useful thing. I say you use 2 or 3 patterns and you have a specific tension setting and things. I recommend saving it to the programmable buttons here and bringing them up that way. Makes it much easier.